Hi, welcome to the Truth of Tal and Isaac. I'm Tal.
And I'm Isaac.
Episode number 24th, The Truth of Tal and Isaac. Check us out on all the social media things that you can and YouTube and all that cool stuff. Mock draft today. Big week for us. And we're going to talk about the Lions and do a little bit of draft analysis on the top 16 picks. That Isaac and I will go back and forth. And then we'll talk about the Lions a little bit and just touch on how big a deal this is. Because Detroit sports, about all we have right now are drafts and hope.
Rebuild, future.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of good things happening. So this is our Super Bowl, as a lot of people have said. Off the top, thanks to Coach Rob for the last episode. Coach Rob, John Downs was the first person to text us the next morning. John Downs, who is part of Prison Rules, which is secret code.
Tennis.
Isaac's stats, Coach Rob sent over, and it was pretty funny. I think he batted like .422, had like a .460 slugging percentage, so lots of singles, few doubles. Lots of strikeouts as a pitcher. Not a lot of walks. He didn't track stolen bases, which I'm a little disappointed because I'm pretty sure you were like 80 for 85 in stolen bases. Maybe even a better...
Depends what you count stolen. Like, that's a loose term. It could be a very loose term. For minor baseball,
That's
you know?
True. Yep, true. NBA playoff race. There's some cool things happening.
A couple weeks, we'll do a big NBA episode.
For sure.
I'll put it right. What day is it today? 25th? I'm not sold on the Nets. I'm really not sold on the Nets. Maybe winning the East. Lakers in 5 if they meet in the finals.
Yeah, did KD play today? He was supposed to come back.
I don't know if he played, but he is coming back
Yeah.
really soon, yes.
The Nets need all three of their stars to play well and healthy, and Kyrie needs to decide to play or to whatever, go get waffles.
No, he can't because he's fasting now, right? You saw it?
Oh, right. He's Muslim.
Yeah.
Is
He
this
switched.
reason for it?
He wanted to.
There's lots of like Muhammad Ali, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, like there's some of the greatest athletes in history and greatest people in history that have switched religions.
Unfortunately, Kyrie's not.
I'm
one
not
of the
sure
greatest
if
people
Kyrie
in history.
fits into that circle, right? Like you're having dinner with Kareem or Muhammad Ali. I don't think Kyrie's invited.
Yeah, Kyrie doesn't get that call. No,
Well, he probably doesn't need to know how to get there because the Earth is flat, right?
probably.
We just talked about it briefly, but the Orlando Brown trade, huge for KC.
I don't
Can
understand
you
why
tell
the
me
Ravens.
what happened?
So it's Orlando Brown. I think he's 24, stud offensive lineman,
All pros,
all
not?
pro at age 24. And I don't have the details in front of me, but it was him and some picks for a late first and a couple other picks. Like I don't understand why the Ravens would help the Chiefs. Like you want Lamar to be protected.
Yeah. I mean, I know he was unhappy, so they were likely going to have to figure something out, but why not trade him to Detroit? We would take him.
Anyone except one of the top 3 teams in football, easily 3.
Especially in the AFC.
Doesn't make any sense to me. I don't understand why. What are you going to do with 2 late first-round picks now? Like, are they going to use those to try to trade up? We'll talk about that in a bit. But
Could happen.
I don't understand it at all. KC obviously likes it. Patty Mahomes is happy.
For sure.
But what are the Ravens doing with 2 late firsts? The stud out, like the couple.
They must have thought that they were going to get nothing for him, or even get to the point where he was going to sit out.
Yeah.
That could be. I haven't heard that. That's just speculation because at first glance, it makes absolutely no sense.
Correct.
Another little note, a little bit off script. Falcon and Winter Soldier. Oh my God, it's good. Like,
So good.
I usually don't get to watch it until later, and Isaac has watched it once and then probably done some analysis on it, so we get to watch it and talk about it. But just really good the way he was able to parallel some of the superhero struggles to some of the struggles, mostly in the United States, about some of the disenfranchised and black community. Awesome. You should just watch it.
Even if you're not a superhero guy, if you find it, it's obviously there's some superhero fun action.
For sure.
It's very political, pretty
But
controversial.
not too political.
It doesn't shove it down your throat.
I didn't think it was that political. I'm sure there's some...
there's morons, but it's not... It doesn't...
He's the same morons who don't wear masks who think Trump is awesome. And did you know that the election was stolen from him?
And they like Georgia a lot. They like Georgia.
They like Georgia.
voting
Yeah,
laws.
Georgia's awesome.
No, like, it's really good. It doesn't... make it so like, okay, I understand what you're doing. It's subtle at times. It's not subtle when it doesn't need to be subtle. I love it. It's so good. Captain America is Sam Wilson now. You've seen it by now. Like, it's a black guy's Captain America now. And there's a lot of people online saying, I can dress as Captain America and look like him. Like, they haven't had that, right? Superman, Cap.
You know what? We need to get one of those suits. We've got lots of superhero costumes.
It's such a cool suit.
For one of the episodes, we should wear superhero costumes.
Yeah, it's a good idea. That makes sense.
That is a good idea. Okay, perfect.
Because that relates to our sports primary topic that we cover. But yeah. Are you done writing down bad ideas or just one today?
No, I got some more coming. Don't worry.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be cool if we had each Cap costume.
That would be cool. Yes.
That would be cool. That's all off the top for me. You got anything else? UFC you wanted to mention?
I'm not a huge UFC guy. When dudes and chicks are beating crap out of each other, I will watch. I was thoroughly entertained last night for like 4 hours watching these fights. Preliminary card, that's all you would be able to watch because main event ends at like 12:30, right?
Yeah, I have to go to sleep first and get up and watch.
And he's asleep by about 8 p.m. as we've covered.
We've covered that. You know what? If I take a nap, I can stay up till a solid 10 p.m.
Okay, that's not correct. Unless like Steph is playing, maybe.
It's a good nap.
So I stayed up pretty late to watch these fights. Super entertaining. Lots of sportsmanship. One kind of cool injury, not really. Basically, dude got hit in his nerve in the leg, and his leg just went numb. Like, it stopped working. It wasn't broken, but he just couldn't put any weight on it because he got hit in the nerve in the right spot, which was scary at first, and then it's like, okay, it's not broken. It's just numb. The next fight, and this dude tried to keep fighting on one leg. The doc called it. Then the next fight, a dude actually broke his leg. I don't know if you heard about this.
I saw a headline.
It was probably the single scariest injury I've seen live in sports history.
Joel Theismann.
I didn't see it live.
I saw Joel Theismann.
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah.
This basically what happened was he kicked the dude's leg, and the dude who kicked him in the leg, it just stopped. Like, it just bent. It's incredibly...
So the guy who was doing the kicking broke his leg? Shin?
Right below the knee. It was unbelievable. I watched it live once, and the dude tried to put weight on it, and then it was awful.
Oh my gosh.
I don't recommend watching it. The fan, because it was basically full attendance, like no masks. There was like a ton of
Vegas. I don't know where it is.
It was in Florida. It was in Jacksonville.
Okay.
But like they were going nuts. Like it was just so gruesome. But the fighter who won the fight was very classy, and like right when they put the mic on him, just said like, he's a great guy. Wish him the best. And it was pretty good, but horrific. Don't watch the highlight, but do some reading on it or watch some UFC highlights in general because it was pretty entertaining. Other than that,
again, you were not able to grow up in a time where there was good boxers, right?
Because it's all rigged now.
Yeah, like Marvelous Marvin Hagler and Tommy Hearns, which I mentioned last time. And that was good boxing, right? And I was able to see a little bit of the end of Muhammad Ali's career. He wasn't very good at that point, but Larry Holmes is pretty decent. And I saw a lot of Mike Tyson. That was real boxing. But since Don King, it became fixed. It really isn't entertaining. And the UFC, I think, has done a pretty good job filling that gap.
Yeah, boxing is... I still watch some boxing, but it's a lot of Jake Paul, fake stuff. It's not a lot of... Whereas UFC, it's just like animals, the most dangerous men on the planet going at it with not a lot of rules.
Yeah, George St. Pierre, GSP, was in Falcon Winter Soldier. Yeah. He was a good bad guy.
Okay, draft time?
Let's jump into the draft. Do you want to prep it up?
So, no one cares who the Bills pick or the Chiefs or the Bucks pick. So we're doing the top 16 picks. Every other. So he's odd numbers, I'm even numbers. And we're just going to go through what X team can take at whatever position. And then after that, we're just going to, depending on how much time we have, we're just going to talk about the Lions. What can the Lions do? What are a name they might take? So we'll start. He has Jacksonville, first overall.
Yeah, so we're going to jump right into it. On the clock, the Jacksonville Jaguars. That ESPN thing, that wasn't really the sound.
Wow, I thought that was... Like, did you just play it? Like, that's what it sounded like.
Yeah, exactly. So the best prospect since Trevor Luck, and I did read somewhere...
Dude.
No, sorry. That's wrong.
Trevor Luck doesn't exist.
Trevor Luck doesn't exist.
Trevor Lawrence is a human. Andrew Luck was a good prospect.
Andrew Luck.
Yeah.
Yeah, just crossed it up.
So is Andrew Luck first overall pick?
No, though if he came out of retirement, he'd be first overall. Somebody even said best prospect from a rating since John Elway. Trevor Lawrence is the dude. No-brainer. Make it easy. He's your building block. You're going to have him for 13 years. Boom, Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, good dude. I look forward to him in Jacksonville.
There's a bit of controversy with he didn't say football his entire life.
Oh, that was dumb. He said, I don't have a chip on my shoulder like a bunch of other dudes. I just play because I like it, basically. And everyone's like, oh, you have to have a chip. No, you don't, man.
He's a little chill, right?
He's not a surfer, but he's just a cool dude who is really good at football. Second overall, New York Jets picking. They're going quarterback. I got Zach Wilson down for him. That's the consensus pick. Outside chance they pick Justin Fields, but highly likely Zach Wilson goes second to the Jets, and he is their building block. Personally, I think I might like Fields more than Zach Wilson, but the Jets don't see it that way, and they're smarter than me. So,
well, very interesting that you mentioned that because all the smoke screen the last little while has been San Fran going with Mac Jones, right? He's a good game manager. They got lots of pieces in place. But I am not going to follow that script because I'm going to go with Justin Fields. Yeah, number 3 overall. This is a quarterback league. You need quarterbacks who can make plays. And listen, we have no idea how Justin Fields is going to be when he has to check down to his secondary option or his third option or dump it off to the running back because he never had to do that at Ohio State. But he's got tons and tons of skills. For a long time, he had more touchdowns than incompletions last year.
Yeah. He was great last year.
Sick.
And can perform on a big stage.
Yeah. So I'm going with Justin Fields.
That's a good pick, yeah.
First 3 quarterbacks off the board. Now there's going to be some interesting stuff. What happens with who's going to trade up, who's going to trade down. Oh, we should say that we only allowed one team to trade in this particular format. The Lions. Because we don't... Listen, we like Cincy, we like Joe Burrows, but we don't need to get into your trades. We don't care about you that much. We love the Lions, okay?
So 4th overall, Atlanta Falcons are picking. Matt Ryan's contract is brutal, but he's still a very capable quarterback, in my opinion. I think he's still pretty solid for at least a couple years, probably 2 years.
I agree with you.
I don't think you pick a quarterback here. I think the Falcons should trade down. I don't know if they will. I hear the report is they're asking a ton for 4th overall, as they should. But I have them picking Kyle Pitts, 4th overall. He's probably the best player available. He's just a freak of an athlete, a freak of an offensive weapon.
And let's talk about this. This tight end thing, I do not like picking tight ends in the first round. We're going to call Kyle Pitts because he's listed in all the pre-drafts as a tight end. He's a wide receiver, right? He's DK Metcalf, who has better skills, better route running, better hands.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's just a nuts athlete. They list him at tight end. If you watch any tape, he lines up anywhere. It's not a huge deal. But he's the best player available. The 3 consensus players that everyone is pretty sold on: Trevor Lawrence, Kyle Pitts, and Jamar Chase are the 3 that any team pretty much seems to agree that they will be a stud day one.
Yep, I agree with you. Good pick. So now Cincinnati Bengals on the clock. What do they need? They need offensive linemen. They need an edge rusher, and they could use a tight end. So if Pitts was available, I would have picked him. And I think there's going to be some people that are going to say, okay, let's go Chase. Let's go with Chase, who Burrows played with at LSU, and they were awesome together. But I'm going to do the smart thing, and I'm going to pick the offensive lineman. You've got your left tackle for 10 years. I'm picking Sewell.
Yeah, Penei Sewell, 5th overall, the Bengals. That's what they should do. 100%, right? Joe Burrows played 1 year in the NFL and has 1 season-ending injury. Not a good ratio for the Bengals or Joe Burrow. You got to protect him. Sewell's your guy. I'm afraid they go Chase. I think Burrow might peer pressure them, and you have to make the quarterback happy.
That's going to be very, very interesting. Because let's assume that something like this happens. The first 4, there's usually 3 or 4 picks that are pretty easy to estimate, and then it starts to go off script. So if Cincinnati stays on script, I think they pick Sewell. But they could pick Chase, or who knows what happens. They could trade down.
They could go the other big old lineman. We'll talk about him soon.
Yeah. So now Miami's on the clock, which is Isaac. Let's just take a quick peek and see who's still available. Lots of good wide receivers. Still a couple of good quarterbacks that are out there that some people thought were going to be drafted pretty high. Miami has traded a lot the last few years, and they've got a lot of good building blocks in place. Who does Miami need?
They don't need a quarterback. People that are not sold on Tua, fine, don't be sold on Tua. You need to give him some help and some time. And he didn't really have either of those in his first year.
And he was injured a little bit at Alabama, so he really didn't get a ton of college reps either.
So 6th overall. I have the Falcons. I had 4th overall. I had the Falcons taking Pitts. I think the Falcons maybe trade out of that, and a team picks a quarterback 4th. So Pitts is off the board. They could take Pitts. But I think best player available, it's probably Jamar Chase. Mm-hmm. And he's the best receiver by a lot. And Miami needs a receiver. You want to help Tua. You want to let him succeed. You can never go wrong with O-line. But if Sewell is not here, I think you have to go with Chase. I think he's a stud. He will be a baller from day one, for sure.
Okay, I think that's a good pick.
Yeah.
I think there's a gap between Chase and Waddle and Smith.
Agreed.
So I think we'll see how this plays out, but I don't know if I see any of the other two wide receivers in the next 3 or 4 picks. I think like 10, 11, 12 is probably when those guys come off the board. But again, you get somebody who needs weapons, and this is a wide receiver league now. Like running backs.
Quarterback league or wide receiver league? You got to make
quarterback. It's always a quarterback league, but now it's even more focused. But I'm talking from an offensive skill perspective, right? Like,
not a running back. Not a running back.
Dude from Alabama, Harris.
Najee Harris.
Yeah. No way he's going to appear on our draft.
Not top
Maybe
16.
He'll sneak into the first round.
He might go late first.
And he's awesome. But this is just not how it goes anymore. Running backs seem to have a shelf life of about 3 years.
Remember David Johnson? He was like the best running back in the past bunch of years.
Yeah.
For a couple of seasons. And has just fallen off a cliff completely. So what, you're 7th overall. So the Lions are picking.
Yep. So Lions are on the clock. So what do they need? Whew. It's probably easier to say what they don't need.
Let's say it. What don't they need? Tight end? Running back?
They don't need a tight end. They don't need a running back.
Punter? Jack Fox.
They get a really good punter, but they need a kicker now.
They do need
and they don't need a long snapper because they've had... Who's the long snapper?
Rollback.
They've had him forever. Like, more than your age, I think.
Madden 12 or Madden 11 or whatever. And
Don Mulback.
And Mulback was there. He's been there forever. He's their long snapper. But we need basically anything
I think
but
we
that.
likely have the worst linebackers in the NFL.
Yeah. I don't know if
we have a really poor defensive line. We might have a safety. Let's assume that Jeff Okuda it develops into something, so we have a cornerback. We've got a couple of offensive linemen. We arguably have the worst wide receiver collection in the NFL, so the Lions need a lot. So what do you do here?
We're going to talk about Lions later, but this is I'll sit out now.
Okay.
You do what you think they should do, and then I'll talk when we're done our 16.
Sure. Okay, so I have the Lions trading down with New England. New England can't be going into the season thinking, I worked pretty well with Cam last year. Like, I like Cam and he's tough, but he can't really throw the ball anymore, right? Like, he can maybe do some dump-off passes, and he's a really good running quarterback, but they need somebody. So, Detroit Lions make a trade with New England Patriots. The Lions pick up New England's first, which is 15th overall, New England's second, which is 46th overall. That's in this draft. And then next year's 4th round pick.
Yeah, something like that's probably the value, right? 15-7, that's probably what you're getting.
Yep. I ran the stats through a very complicated procedure. I kind of looked at CBS Sports Line just to get an idea. And that's what we got. So I have the Lions trading out of 7 down to 15. So now do I do New England's pick?
Yeah, who's New England taking at 7?
Okay, so there's 2 quarterbacks left, and there's a little bit of debate here, right? You can go with Jones, or you can go with Zach
Wilson's off the board. Trey Lance is probably...
Trey Lance. Trey Lance, the comparator is Steve McNair, right?
Aaron McNair.
And Mac Jones, he's like an Alex Smith kind of guy. He's a game manager. He's not going to be spectacular.
Very smart. Very smart.
Yeah. I think I'm going to go with Jones. It's a little boring, but I think New England, they like
New England is
in their
boring.
quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going with Jones.
If the let's say this trade happens, because there's a good shot it happens.
Mm-hmm. It's a good shot New England trades up to draft a quarterback. If it's the Lions, who knows?
And I think Jones is, right, like, I don't think they're going to want to take a risk on a guy like Lance, where they know what they're going to get with Jones. And he's going to fit their scheme, right? Like, how different is he from, like, Tom Brady? Like, obviously Tom Brady's the GOAT, but I mean, like, pocket passer, can read defenses, not a lot of design runs. And with Cam, they've implemented some other stuff, but Jones to the Patriots seems right. Seems like it works. So I'm 8 overall. I got the Panthers here picking 8. They don't need a quarterback. They got Sam Darnold. They don't need a running back. They're not going to take one here. They can go receiver. They can go with Smith or Waddle. Or Rashawn Slater, Northwestern O-lineman. He can play.
Who's solid.
Who can play
anywhere
position on the O-line. They need protection. You want to protect Darnold and get McCaffrey, a good run blocker. Go with Rashawn Slater.
I had my computer open off the side just to get a little bit of research. I'm just going to put it on mute.
Thanks.
Just to be clear, I don't have my cell phone on noise this week, which is kind of a win.
Okay, thank you. Rashawn Slater, 8th overall. He's a stud. Honestly, like...
You're picking Slater?
Yeah, I got the Panthers picking Slater because I think he's really good.
What do you think the Charleroi expert who lives down the street is going to say about that?
He likes it.
Yeah?
We talked about it. He likes it.
So we did bring in a special analyst just earlier this afternoon to chat around by the pool. We needed a little bit of research. Jeff, who knows the stuff, and Malik, who's pretty much our best friend. We're hanging out for a little while. We'll have Jeff and Malik on the show as future guests. Malik's primary focus is probably going to be throwing the ball at the screen.
And the rock. He likes
rocks.
Actually, people don't know how Malik is not a grown adult.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, Malik's 2.
Malik is 2.
Who's the coolest little dude ever.
He's not an adult.
But Jeff knows a ton about sports, maybe more than me, I think, and probably in the Isaac League. So if he's good with Slater, then I think that's probably a good pick.
Yeah.
Okay, so number 9, Denver.
It's interesting. This is an interesting pick.
Yeah, this is an interesting pick because Denver needs quarterback, offensive line, linebacker, defensive line, running back. So what do you think I'm going to pick?
If I'm the Broncos and everything's worked out, because the Broncos are a trade-up team. They might trade up.
Yeah.
I take Lance at 9.
I agree. That's what I've got. I've got Lance down here. Best quarterback available is who I had in my draft notes. And there was the assumption that one of the quarterbacks was going to fall. So that's 5 quarterbacks in the top 9 picks, which is huge. There's not that many teams who need quarterbacks, but it's funny because you still have a team like the Bears who... That redheaded Dalton is the quarterback, or who's the other guy?
On what team?
Chicago.
Oh, well, they had Trubisky. Who's their backup? Is it Foles?
Foles.
Their backup?
They still have Foles. That's right. Yeah. So it's funny that 5 quarterbacks go, and there's still teams that really need quarterbacks. Houston, we don't know. Anyway, that'll be really interesting. So I do have Lance going to Denver because they need quarterback, and that's 5 quarterbacks off the board.
The Broncos, their defense is abysmal. Their secondary is terrible. They might go corner there, but if Lance is there at 9, I agree. Lance is the pick, and you sit him for a bit at least behind Drew Lock, who I actually like, who's their quarterback now, who's just like a goofball. But 10th overall, Dallas. This is interesting.
So Dallas needs, what do they need? Convict is kind of one of the
criminals,
rapists. Drugs.
Cheeseburgers for Ezekiel Elliott.
Yeah, cheeseburgers for Elliott.
And maybe some doctors for Dak.
Oh, true. Yeah.
So, Cowboys are 10.
I actually feel bad for Dak Prescott.
So do I.
Yeah. I mean, he's got the big money coming, but he's going to get killed. Their offensive line is just, they let it go.
And he's in Dallas, which I know used to be America's team. Basically, I don't know, off the top of my head, I don't know if I know any Cowboys fans. Like, I think everybody hates Dallas. Obviously, we're in Windsor, but Dallas is not a beloved team anymore.
Used to be. So
they're 10th overall. Their defense is horrible. So they're going defense here. They're either going corner or they're going linebacker. Micah Parsons is on the board, Penn State linebacker, whose stock's gone down a bit because he can't cover anybody.
Okay.
And he's had a bit of an attitude problem, apparently. So Dallas likes that.
Is that just smokescreen, though?
It could be. So Dallas is at 10. You got Parsons. I'm going to put down J.C. Horn.
Okay.
Who's the South Carolina quarterback. He's a bit of a nutcase. Like, he's Jalen Ramsey. Like, he's a lockdown corner who just doesn't shut up.
Yeah, in a lot of mocks, Horn is going top 10. So
yeah, and Dallas clearly likes guys that talk a lot. So J.C. Horn, I don't know how good he'll be. Like, I didn't watch a ton of J.C. Horn tape, but Dallas likes guys who can talk, and Horn's the best talker on the board still. So I got Dallas taking a corner at 10.
Okay, I like that. Horn's a good pick. So now we're dropping to the Giants.
This is fun too, actually.
Yeah, number 11. Again, who do the Giants need? Offensive line. They could use somebody on the defensive line, specifically an edge rusher. They really need a wide receiver.
Do they?
Who do they got? They got Galladay.
They got Kenny. They got Shepard. They've got Ingram, who's basically a receiver. Slayton. I don't think they need a... I know people think they need a receiver. I don't know if, like... How many receivers are you going to give Daniel Jones before you realize he's not the answer?
Lots.
Yeah. Okay.
This is going to be one of those situations where... Like, I think Jones is pretty decent, but Galladay's a huge injury risk, right? Like, they didn't sign him... They signed him for big money, but not huge, partially because of injuries. And you just also look at best player available and talent, and I've got Devontae Smith, the Heisman Trophy winner.
Wow. That's a good pick.
Yep.
You know Evan, your buddy's a big Giants fan, right?
I did not know.
Hey,
Him?
Yes, because Saquon Barkley plays there, so he loves Giants. So
Does he like Barkley?
Loves Saquon.
Okay.
And he likes Jabril Peppers, who's their safety now, right? I don't know if the Giants go receiver there. I don't know if it makes sense. How many receivers are you going to give Daniel Jones?
Lots. This is a little like the Stafford thing. Like I said, they've got him going to the CBS Sportsline mock. And it is an area of need for them. And I think Shepard's, this is his last year.
All right, so I got Eagles at 12. And actually, if Smith was on the board, I would have considered
So this is interesting as well, because the Eagles really need a wide receiver.
And they traded down. So I got them picking Jalen Waddle here.
Okay.
I think like they need their defense is horrible. Well, they were injured a lot, but their defense is not very good. So they can go defense Parsons is still on the board. They could go Parsons, but Waddle's a playmaker. I don't love him, especially going to Detroit. But Waddle's on the board at 12th. You trade it down, and you still get a solid receiver prospect.
Yep.
Jalen Waddle to the Eagles at 12th.
Yeah, a couple of guys, Waddle and Smith, that are little guys, which is always a little scary. But those guys make plays, and Philly needs somebody. Like,
yeah.
Travis Fulgham or whatever was the guy who was like the best
Detroit
wide receiver for about 3 hours. Then they realized, oh, wait a second, why don't we cover him? And then they didn't.
You know what receiver they had that they should have kept? Aguilar.
Yeah, unlike Aguilar.
We'll explain that another day. Yep. The Aguilar. If people want to hear the Aguilar story, let us know.
Oh, that's fun.
13th, you got the Chargers.
Okay, so what do Chargers needs? Offensive line, cornerback, safety, tight end, defensive line. So they've got a great quarterback, one of the best young quarterbacks in the league to help build around.
My Madden quarterback.
Is he?
Yeah.
Nice. And this guy's dropped a little bit. I've seen him on a lot of different places, but I've got Patrick Surtain from Alabama going here. Lots of Crimson Tide. I don't know how many. Is this 4 or 5 Crimson Tide that are already picked by number 13?
Probably not 5, but there's a few.
Alabama is almost a pro team. By the way, anybody who says that Alabama, when they're awesome, could beat a pro team, no, they'd lose 44-2, right? Like, don't even
There was talk about Ohio State versus the Browns a couple years ago. Like, Ohio State was awesome.
Oh, because who's the best team in Ohio? Yeah.
Cleveland would destroy that Ohio State team.
Like, Baker Mayfield was amazing in college.
Your worst NFL team is demolishing your best college team.
Correct.
All right, so that's done. So you got him going.
So I've got Patrick Surtain, a cornerback. He's checks all the boxes. He's a big dude. He can run. Good man to man. Chargers got a stud guy at number 13.
I don't know about that pick. Like, I actually think that there's a chance the Chargers trade up. Maybe with Detroit. The Chargers might trade up because Slater and Sewell are your two best offensive line prospects by a mile.
Yeah, Lions are only a couple away, and I really hope the guy that I have circled drops here. This is big.
Okay. Christian Darrisaw is the third O-lineman in the draft.
Yep.
There's a chance they pick him if they don't trade up. But honestly, I think they should try to trade up and get Slater. But you got him going.
Where did you have Slater going? 8 to Carolina.
Yeah.
So if Carolina doesn't get a quarterback, then I think they probably trade down.
Who?
Carolina.
Carolina's not getting a quarterback.
They're not going to get a quarterback?
Well, they have Sam Darnold.
Oh, they have Sam Darnold. They just traded for a quarterback, yeah.
Moron.
Yeah, that was outdated
Okay,
information.
14th overall. Vikings are picking. No one cares. So
Nobody cares about
No,
Minnesota.
I'm sorry.
Really, who cares about
If
Minnesota?
you're a Vikings fan,
Like, you're
sorry,
going to have
no
Cousins,
comment.
and he's going to throw up some stats and lose.
So I don't know what the Vikings are doing here. Their O-line isn't that good. Their defense isn't that good. But I'm going to go. This might be your guy. I'm going to go Kwity Paye.
Jeez.
Look, Vikings.
Man.
Like, there's two. Jalen Phillips and Kwity Paye are the two good edge rushers that are going probably like top 15, top 16 picks. The Vikings could go like I said. Darrisaw is a good O-lineman. Elijah Vera Tucker is another O-lineman. They could go defense, but like secondary. But Kwity Paye, he's a Michigan guy. Really good, good story. So I've got him going to Minnesota at 14.
Okay. Well, obviously, I wanted Kwity Paye. He's a Michigan dude. He's an awesome dude. Did I send you the story? I think it was ESPN.
Yes.
Did an amazing story on the life that Kwity Paye has had. And, man, like, when you think you've had a difficult life you hear about, you need to read about Kwity and all the stuff that his mom did for him. It's amazing. I liked him before, but now wherever he goes, even if he goes to Minnesota, I'm going to cheer for him.
And he's a Michigan guy. I don't know.
He's a Michigan guy.
He's a Michigan edge rusher. So we liked him for the past couple of years.
So Lions are on the clock. I really wanted a wide receiver or a defensive lineman. Obviously, I wanted Kwity. All the top wide receivers are off the board, so it doesn't make sense to stretch. Have options here, right?
This is not a
Parsons.
debate. Make your pick, but
Christian Darrisaw is probably a safe pick and is a really good player. Oh boy, they need a wide receiver. They're not going to pick a wide receiver. I might even trade down again if that was available to them, but I can't trade down anybody because the only person left is Arizona, and I can't
who's your
trade
pick?
with him.
I'm not in agreement here with you.
Okay, Christian Darrisaw.
Oh man, that's wow.
Wait, that's a good pick. They need another offensive lineman.
Okay, Parsons is on the board, isn't he?
Yeah, he's got problems. It's not a smoke screen. He's got problems.
You got to go Parsons at 15. Well, okay.
Thought about it.
Let me do
Parsons.
We're gonna do the Cardinals pick at 16, and then
Fair
we'll
enough.
talk Lions for 10 minutes.
Okay.
I got the Cardinals going. Caleb Farley here, Virginia Tech cornerback. They like cornerbacks. Farley's had like injury stuff, so that's why he's fallen a bit. But talent-wise, he might be the best corner in the draft. But he's got, I think it's back stuff.
Yeah.
Arizona, like I said, they like their cornerbacks and they need to improve their defense some more. So Farley is probably your best defensive guy still available at this point. Actually, well, the other guy we should mention him. We'll mention him when we talk lines. Jeremiah Owusu-Komora. I don't really know how to say his name. It's the Notre Dame linebacker who's just a playmaker.
Supposed to be a beast too.
They might pick him, especially if the Lions aren't sold on Parsons. They still go linebacker. They go JOK, but
Good.
that's who the Cardinals pick. No one cares about the Cardinals. Kyler Murray is the Jason Tatum of the NFL. By that I
Kyler Murray
mean,
is the Jason Tatum
I've
of
said
the
that before.
NFL. Lots of talent.
very talented, very solid.
Can't win.
No, it's just like they're very overhyped and aren't going to dominate their league like some think.
I hate the Boston Celtics.
Yeah, Boston sucks.
They just suck.
Sorry, Colin and Uncle Brad. I hate Boston.
Really, who likes...
And Mr. Chedro, he's a Boston fan.
Can I say it?
No.
Okay. I'm not going to say it. But generally, if people are Boston fans, a word pops into my mind.
Not intelligent is the two words he's thinking.
Not intelligent. Yeah. Okay.
We'll talk Lions for a few minutes here.
So, the Lions have drafted terribly the last few years. Like, they just don't have enough.
I don't think last year was terrible.
I agree, last year wasn't terrible. I mean, Okuda...
Third overall was terrible.
But they didn't... Should they have drafted Tua? I don't think
It's
so.
tough to say. It's really tough
They
to
needed to
say.
trade down, and obviously they didn't get enough juice. People didn't like Tua as much as they like some of these guys that are on the board, presumably. So I think they took the best player available at a huge position of need because they gave away Darius Slay for a bag of pucks, right?
Yeah.
But let's just throw some names out that make Lions fans cringe. Tease Tabor. So they drafted a defensive back who runs like an offensive lineman.
What draft was that? Do you have it
That
up?
was 3 years ago.
Something like that. You don't have to. I was just wondering.
But it wasn't that long ago. So he was a second round pick. And Tease Tabor, so I punch in his name. You know what pops up first? 40 time.
What is it?
4.63 seconds. Wow. You can't do that in the NFL. Like, what wide receivers run 4.63?
Kyle Pitts is a tight end, and I keep just like
blow by him.
blow him away.
He was a half decent at tackling. You know why?
Because he let his guy get open and
Yes, because he gave everybody 15 yards
like
and was
Okuda.
really good at wrapping them up. First article, Tease Tabor disappoints on Florida Pro Day. Oh, but the Lions drafted him. Okay, Giovanni Tavai.
Yeah.
Right when he was drafted, all the experts.
Jared Davis. I don't. You probably have him down, but
No, Jared Davis. He wasn't that much of a stretch. He was expected to be a first round pick. He just didn't really do anything. But Giovanni Tavai, like all the experts are having to go through their notes to find out who that guy is.
I remember that. That was
Somebody
weird.
had him predicted in the 6th round. You're not that. Don't be that smart. Right? Like pick a guy who you've seen film of. Every now and then you're going to find like Golladay was actually a good pick. He was a 3rd round guy. He was expected to go in the 3rd or 4th round.
Swift
so it
was
wasn't that much
2nd
of a
round.
stretch. Yeah, but he was expected to go. Swift.
Yeah,
was
I'm just
2nd
saying
round.
picks that have landed. Swift landed.
Who else? They picked an offensive lineman who's in the rotation last year.
Decker or Ragnow? Or
No, Ragnell's a couple years ago.
the Hawaiian
I'm
guy
trying to think,
with the big name.
No, he was a free agent. Anyway, we just need to not have names where, like, Mel Kiper goes, who's that? Right? If Mel Kiper doesn't know who that is in the first 3 rounds, then you've probably not done a very good job. Listen, this is if you're a Detroit fan of the major sports, this is all you have. You have hope. Right? Hope is a dangerous thing.
Shawshank. Great movie.
Shawshank, great movie. Maybe one of the top 2 movies all time.
Well, I have it number 1 next to Die Hard. And
I had it number 2, but got to turn into episode number 23, the Michael Jordan episode, to listen to that, the last one.
let me go lines real quick.
Okay, talk about the lines.
I don't want to stay at 7 overall. Like, we'll talk this year. I don't care about... They suck. We know it. I don't want to stay at 7 unless Chase or Sewell are still on the board.
Chase or Sewell?
Jamar Chase or Penei Sewell. One of them fall to 7, pull the trigger.
Okay, I agree with you.
Or if they receive a massive trade package from a team like Baltimore or Indianapolis. 2 teams that need to get wide receivers and want a good receiver. And one of the top 3 probably won't fall. If they give up a ton to take 7 overall and get Chase, go for it. The Chargers are 13. If the Chargers see Sewell there and will give up a ton, then pull the trigger. But if not, pick Sewell and you've got an offensive lineman, left tackle for a long, long time.
So does that mean Decker moves to right tackle? Because I think
you
I
moved
read
Decker.
that Sewell is left tackle only. I don't know.
Sewell's your left tackle, and then Slater is your everywhere guy. I don't want to take Slater at 7. If they take him, I'll be like, I won't be upset. I'll be fine, but...
What if Pitts dropped to 7?
You have to take him. Or
you trade.
You take him as a wide receiver, or you just get like a team, like a good team that will give up so much, like...
Dallas, because...
Dallas is just stupid. Yeah, sure. Dallas, like, what would Dallas give up to get a guy like Kyle Pitts? A big name. They would give up so much. But, yeah, Pitts is on 7. You got to take him, I think, and play him as a receiver. I don't care about he's a tight end. You play him as a receiver. I don't want to take Parsons at 7. I don't want to take Smith at 7. I don't want to take Waddle at 7. What if a quarterback is there? It's unlikely. But what if one of... So Lawrence won't be. Wilson won't be. Fields shouldn't be, but he might. Slim chance. Mm-hmm. Lance might. Do you pull the trigger on one of them?
I've gone back and forth on this a little bit, and I say no. And the reason why is the Lions have committed to a rebuild, right? They're building up picks. I don't think you need to take your quarterback now. Every year, they say, "Oh, you know what? It's not a good year next year for quarterbacks." And
I don't think it is.
Amazingly, 3 get picked in the top 5, like virtually every year. Listen, you could actually run with Goff for 2 years if you need to, and pick somebody in 2 years, right? I have no idea who's the guy from Clemson with the long name who's pretty solid.
Oh yeah, I know you're talking about.
Yeah, or I'm sure Alabama's got a guy. I'm not sure who that is, but there's guys. So I don't think the Lions they need a building block. They don't need to try and win in 2022. Like they're 23 or 2023 or 2024. That's when the Lions are going to win, right? You've got a new general manager. You've got a new coach,
everything.
right? So you can afford to have a 5-11 season next year, and you're not going to call for
5-12.
Oh, right, 5-12.
That'll be hard for us to say.
So I would like the Lions to. I really like the Lions not to be the first team to go 0-17.
That'd be awesome.
Somebody else, please.
Then we get a really good pick. No, look, we're at 7 overall. Like I said, Waddle, Smith. If they are Waddle, Smith, Parsons, if they say a name like that at 7, I won't be, thrilled. I'll be But if you trade down, I think you can still get some of those guys. If Chase or Sewell or Pitts or honestly, if Lance is there, I don't think you take him. But I would not be super mad if they picked Lance and sat him for a year.
Lots of skills.
Yeah, I wouldn't hate it. I just don't want to pick like last year. Very boring. Didn't move. Picked the cornerback after 1 year.
You just hope they didn't get offered much. That's why they didn't drop down.
No, because they're stupid. But this is a year where they can get a huge package, I think. Because there's a lot of guys that, like if Pitts is there, or Chase is there, or Sewell even, like those are 3 non-quarterback players that teams might go all in on.
Right, because there's going to be 3 quarterbacks taken for sure, maybe even 4. So
Yeah.
if one of those dudes drop, awesome.
Yeah, I'm so pumped for the draft. Because they can do so much with it. I might be devastated come Friday, but it's Thursday night is when the draft is, and I'm thrilled. I'm so pumped for the draft, not just because of the Lions, but because what do the Bengals do at 5?
Fun.
What do the Falcons do at 4? Do they take Pitts or do they trade back?
Yeah, how does Dallas do something stupid?
What are they going to do?
That's fun to watch.
Is Cleveland going to somehow blow it?
Yeah, what's up with San Fran?
Yes, smokescreen Mac Jones? It should be. Pick Fields, don't pick Jones. But if they pick Jones,
Jones
they know what they're getting.
Jones is very average.
Yeah, he's Jimmy Garoppolo. He's the guy they want to dump.
Pretty much. A game manager. Okay, anything else? We actually didn't disagree much on this.
We made a couple stupid picks, like passing on Parsons at 15 with the Lions. That is dumb. Don't pick Darrisaw.
Okay, you know what? Something bad is going to happen with Parsons. He's like
that's just an awful thing to say.
I'm just saying.
Wow, you're terrible.
Listen, you need guys who can bite kneecaps.
That is what Parsons is. Yeah, Parsons is such a...
I just set you up there.
You think Darrisaw is biting off kneecaps? No.
He's blown people off their kneecaps.
I don't know about that, but okay.
Okay, if you have any thoughts and suggestions as to what we do for future topics, obviously we're going to talk a lot about draft next episode, and then we've got NBA going to the playoffs and finals, but we love the input from the fans.
Comment if you're on YouTube, comment and like it. People don't like it, you should like it. And if you're on Apple Pod, I think you can leave a review. Or stars, do that. I don't know about Spotify. I don't know if you can on Spotify.
Yeah, I don't know. But
you don't know, no.
No, I don't know. Anyway, I opened our horizons up to some new fans, so I think we're going to get some more people chiming in.
Okay, thanks, head of marketing.
Yeah. Actually, I'm the executive director of marketing.
Okay, and what am I? AV?
Yeah, I think I should have access to the Instagram account. Just saying.
Okay.
I had a couple of sweet selfies today.
Okay, all right, on the record. If I need 4 people, no, I need 5 people to comment on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, or even if you're on Spotify, I need you to go on YouTube. Actually, no, 5 is way too easy. 10. 10 people need to comment on YouTube, either hashtag TEAMTALNATION or hashtag GiveTal
Okay, I need 10 people.
So
10 people.
So if you're on Spotify and you want to get him
access to the Instagram,
go on YouTube and like and comment that.
10 people on YouTube.
10 minimum, and I need 13 likes on the video. Not 13. I need 10 likes as well on the video. I need 10 likes and 10 comments on YouTube. 10 of the each comment has to be in support of you. So either if you're on YouTube, go comment now if you want to get him. I don't think you're going to get
if
him.
Urban Paul says no way, that does not count as one of my 10.
Maybe a minus, but we'll get there when we deal with it. So if you want to let Team Tal run Instagram...
No, not run. Just get access. You'll still be the administrator.
Okay. Go and comment on YouTube and we'll see, but I doubt you're going to get 10. You're maybe going to get half
It's
that.
Sunday night. Let's go have some chicken parm and some mac and cheese.
And is there any good games tonight?
I don't know.
Pistons or the...
Pistons are not playing. I think Golden State's playing.
Go and check really quickly before we end it. Really quickly check. He'll be in bed by a little after dinner, around 8:30 maybe. But let's see. What do we got?
Milwaukee, the Bucks, Indiana, Orlando, Sacramento, Golden State.
At what time?
10 p.m. I'm not going to watch that.
Long gone. Okay, maybe watch a movie. Or just watch mock drafts on the internet. That's what I've been doing a lot lately. What box score are you checking? It's not important.
Checking Brooklyn to see if...
Brooklyn sucks. They're not winning anything.
Brooklyn is not going to win.
Okay, go say bye to Team Tal Nation and get them to comment.
Team Tal Nation. Have a good night.